Ahoy there. You've landed at the Weekly Helm Report, the show that's smoother than a sea day mimosa and saltier than a margarita rim. We're bringing you everything cruise, from cabin gossip to the captain's updates. So let's set sail on this week's news. So this was a heavy week. There's a lot of good. There was a lot more bad than normal. So let's get started. Carnival had some great things. So as I mentioned last week, Celebration Key has opened. So the Carnival Vista inaugurated the island with a big parade, and Shaq showed up. He is their spokesperson. He showed up to unlock the sandcastle racers and make the very first shot on the basketball court. So that's really cool. I really love Shaq, DJ Diesel, however you want to put it. I'm a really big Lakers fan, so love Shaq. Carnival Panorama is staying in Long Beach, California, so that was decided. So it's going to continue its year-round sailings from Long Beach, and that was all pretty good news. Then to the not so great news. So aboard the Carnival Pride, 4 guests were arrested when they arrived in Bermuda for possession with intent to sell of carfentanil, vape pens, and THC gummies. So for those who don't know, carfentanil is about 100 times more deadly or stronger than fentanyl, which is also very deadly. So really glad those 4 people were arrested before those things can be distributed amongst the island. The island is not big, and that could have done some major damage. So let's slide on over to Royal Caribbean. So again, they had some good and then some bad. So starting out with the good. So the Icon of the Seas, the world's largest cruise ship that is out there. So they had a surprise health inspection. They aced it 100%, which is great. That's awesome to hear. So they had that happen. But then on the other side of the country, the Navigator of the Seas had over 130 guests fall ill with norovirus. So this is Royal Caribbean's 18th CDC reported outbreak in 2025. Now, norovirus is very common on cruise ships. This is not something that is unique to Royal Caribbean. It becomes very common with all the shared spaces, and a lot of people who they're traveling, their hygiene levels are very different, and crew members can only sing songs about washi so much. So when you're going to the buffet, when you're doing anything, everywhere there are hand washing stations or there is hand sanitizer. Use it. It's there for a reason. It's there for your safety. It's there for the crew's safety. So please use it. Also on the Icon of the Seas, there was a very unfortunate event. So a crew member stabbed another crew member after a dispute, and then that crew member who did the stabbing jumped overboard. So the crew member who got stabbed was injured, but is expected to recover fully, while the man who jumped overboard did not survive. So most people who jump overboard, they don't survive. So shout out to that dad on Disney with his kid who managed to make it. So his body was recovered. Like I said, the stabbed crew member is expected to survive, but it is a very unfortunate circumstance and event that happened on the Icon of the Seas this week. So thankfully nobody else was injured. It was just a dispute between crew members. Hate to see it, but glad to see the person who got stabbed will survive. Norwegian, they released their 2027 voyages, so they released over 500 sailings from 30 separate home ports, including new deployments of the Norwegian Luna and the Aqua. So I can't believe that we're already looking at 2027 voyages, but here we are. I mean, I'm counting down the days until I go on the cruise that I booked in 2023, so I guess it's not that crazy. But it's just, time's flying. So if you're looking at Norwegian, you can now check out up through 2027 for all of their sailings. Going over to MSC, so they tease their World Asia ship because that is in production. So they're teasing bumper cars, roller skating, and the longest dry slide at sea. So they are making the slide even longer than what they're currently at. So the new slide will be 265 feet. That will be pretty crazy, and it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. Going over to Disney, so sliding over there, Disney has revealed the new stern for their Disney Destiny boat, or ship, I guess. They unveiled that it is going to have Spider-Man and Spider-Bots on it. So they're really leaning into this having Marvel thing under their belt, which is great. So, and then the other thing that Disney's dealing with, though, again, a lot of good, a lot of not so good. Castaway Cay is dealing with major erosion issues that's causing concern on the private island and raising concerns for environmental and infrastructure. So we'll see what comes from that. I know I read a couple of things online about in the adult area, the adult beach, the cabanas used to be closer to the water and they're slowly getting pushed up because they're running out of beach. And then they also have canceled some 2026 Disney Magic sailings just due to dry dock changes. So double check your stuff. Make sure that your Disney Magic cruise was not one of those. Virgin Voyages has pretty light week, which isn't, the worst given everything that I've, told you guys about so far. But the Brilliant Lady is now in dry dock prepping for her September debut, so that she's going to be starting up in the northeast part of the United States for a couple of months, then coming down to Miami, leaving Miami in March, going across the Panama Canal on a 15-day voyage over to California, spending a couple of months in California, and then going up to Alaska, so to do some Alaskan cruises. So I'm really excited to see what the Brilliant Lady looks like. Really, really love Virgin. I know I talk about it all the time. It's one of my favorites, if not my favorite. So Brilliant Lady should be brilliant. Princess Cruises announced that they have updated their Premier and Plus packages, so they have added some new perks like shore excursion credits. But with that being said, they have hiked their prices up on them to $100 a day for Premier and $65 a day for the Plus. So if you were looking at it just a few weeks ago, the prices were a little bit lower, but there were less perks to it. And just make sure you reprice it if you have not bought it yet. And then finally, for the news this week, the Celebrity Beyond has scrapped Voyages for its July 20th sailing. So last week. So last Sunday, they had to scrap their sailing due to propulsion issues, and hopefully they have worked it out because they should be leaving today on another one. But I guess we'll find out next week. And then that is our cruise news for the week. So our cruise tip for this week is actually comes from a listener of ours and a couple people who have been on this, Wayne and Trisha Wilson. So they were on the Tales from the Ship. So they suggested bringing magnetic hooks or clips for your cabin walls because the stateroom walls are metal. I highly recommend it. You can use the magnets to hang hats or, lanyards, swimsuits, whatever. Just lightweight things. Definitely recommend it because you're less likely to forget those, and then you won't do what I did on this last Virgin cruise where I hung up a very expensive $250 personalized handmade hat that I made in St. Augustine and then leave it there. So shout out to Shelby, the artist on Valiant Lady, for doing her best to try and get it back for me because I put in the lost item stuff and never found it, and she went to guest services for me and they couldn't find it. So it's really unfortunate. It was a really cool hat, but it's my fault for accidentally leaving it on the wall and realizing it as soon as I walked off the boat. So bring magnetic hooks to be able to hold your stuff on, and don't leave your expensive stuff on the boat. Don't leave anything on the boat. So a couple more just housekeeping things. We are closing out our contest, and I just want to thank everyone who liked or subscribed or shared our posts. I know that I'm probably pretty annoying with them, but we are really enjoying what we're doing, and we're really trying to grow this thing because we are having a blast. And with that being said, everyone who liked, subscribed, or shared, I have your names. I'm going to be reaching out to you personally because this is our maiden voyage of this contest. And we really want to just thank everyone for being a part of this and listening and taking the time to try and help us grow our brand. So everybody wins. Yay! So I'll be reaching out to everyone who helped us out with that and give you guys just a little, it's nothing crazy. We just have a couple of things we made with our logo that we think are kind of useful when you're on a cruise. So we want to share that with you guys. So I'll be reaching out to all of you guys. Again, I thank you so much for helping us grow this. We really love what we do with it. We really love cruising, and we're really looking forward to continuing on. So last but not least, I want to thank our sponsors, Starbird and Sunshine Vacations, where we take the mess and the stress out of your vacation so you can just enjoy it. So please, if you guys need anything, please reach out to our sponsor, Starbird and Sunshine. They can help you book your vacation, whether it be getting flights or hotels, rental cars, cruises. It is a full-fledged travel agency. So reach out to them. And I just want to thank you all for joining us on this leg of this journey, whether you tuned in from a balcony cabin or your kitchen counter. I'm very grateful you sailed with us today. Until next time, calm seas and clear skies.